So finally, I've started this series, and it is tutorial one. And I always wanted to start these AI series to make sure that everyone is learning. And it's a very easy series. If you don't have a background of AI, that's totally fine because you today you're going to learn from scratch that how you can use ChatGPT GPT API. So let's get started. So first thing is you have to set up your API key. I have stored my API key in this API underscore key because I don't want to show my key, but how you can do it yourself. So you just have to go in OpenAI here, platform.openai. You will go here, you will see view API keys. You will create your own secret key here and just copy it and save it in the read file, or you can also use it inside of your code. But I always suggest people to not put your keys and arguments in your code. Just make a separate argument file or either a text file where you can store everything. So second thing, you have to install this OpenAI. So it's actually already installed. That's why it is giving this instruction. So every time you, first of all, one more thing that I want to share, the many people who are watching this who they don't know how to use Collab. So Collab is basically a place where you can run your code in cells. And if you don't know about Collabs and you want to know how to use it, just search how to use Collab, Google Collab, and you will get so many tutorials and you can follow one. So the second step is done and I have installed my API. Now step three is to import it. So I'm importing my API here. This OpenAI API is the argument I'm taking from OpenAI and I'm saving it here. So next thing is that now we're going to learn that how we can create a conversation with ChatGPT using an API. So for instance, people are making making chatbot nowadays and they're using these APIs to create chatbots. So how they are doing it? So this is a small, set of examples which I'm going to share with you, and you would know that how you can use API from scratch. So first and first, you can start a conversation ChatGPT by sending a series of the messages. So the structure is like this. That your messages are usually structured as an array of message objects. It has a role and content. So role could be a system, which could be instructions, and user, in which you will put your data or a question, and assistant is going to assist something inside of the chatbot. So let's take an example, and you would understand it clearly that what I'm talking about. So for instance, I am actually getting our results for weather data, and the system I said you are a helpful assistant, and this instruction I have given here, and then I'm the user as that content. What is the weather like today? Is it sunny in Islamabad? So it's this is a question. Being a user, I'm asking, and the assistant is something that when it won't provide any information, then it can just show this message. I'm sorry, I cannot provide real-time weather information. You can check a weather website or app for that. So this is how the messages work. So conversation had different roles. You could provide different roles in the messages, and this is how this whole magic works in the chat GPT. Then second thing you have to gain from the OpenAI, you have to call this function chat completion. It will send this API, send this model a request of the following conversation we have created, following messages we have created. So you can see in the model, I have added my turbo model. You can use different models. I'm going to talk about at the end of this tutorial that which models you can use. And the messages, I have appended my messages here, this whole structure here. And now I am running this. So here, sorry, I guess I haven't run this. So let me run that first, and then we are going to run this. So you can see that it is not able to get that information, the current information, because the chat GPT is trained since 2021, and I think that they have increased the data set too now, but it cannot take the external information on the web. So that is the thing I was talking about, that it is not able. We have external APIs that we can integrate in the chat GPT, and we can use them to get the outside information too if we don't have it in chat GPT. How we can do that, I'm going to talk about it in a 1 minute. So if you want to continue your conversation, so in conversation, messages, you will append the next role user. You will tell me a joke. This is how the chatbot works, right? In the chatbot in ChatGPT, what you guys do that you write something, and then in the next question you can ask anything about the chatbot. So I have asked here, tell me a joke. So when I run this one, it says, "Sure, here's a joke for you. We don't scientists trust atoms because they make up everything." So this is how the chatbot works. How you can append the several messages with the previous messages. Like here, you remember, right, that in conversation we have created this messages. So we appended the another role inside of it to continue the conversation. So now I'm going to talk about functions. Let's get started on that. Okay, so OpenAI function calling has released several months back, and everyone was very excited when it came because now you can access external APIs too. So I have this website, this one, which actually has open weather related. It has all the information related to weather. Okay, every country, every location, you just name them. Okay, and I what I have done that I have just created an account on it, and I copied the API from here. I don't want to click and don't want to show you my API, but you can copy your API from here, and that's pretty much. And then what you will do, you will just save this API. You will just save this API key in weather API .txt, and then you can just you know read it from the text file. So I have made this custom function, and this is how you define the functions in ChatGPT. I had named it get weather because this is the function I'm gonna call. I said this. What is the description of this function? Get weather information from the external API. Then we have a parameters and object. Properties, we need a location from which weather information is needed. So this is the way you have to define your function. And then this is the function I have created here. So this is the base URL. The base URL I have sending the parameters, location, weather API, units, metric, and the response I'm sending the request to this API to get the information. Okay, and if the response is 200, it is going to give me the weather data here. I will get the temperature from this JSON. I will get the condition from this JSON, and it will return me location, temperature, and condition. So my question was, what's the weather forecast tomorrow? And location Islamabad. Okay, so I'm gonna run this, and you can see it says 30.78. So let's do an experiment. If I say here New York, I'm gonna type New York, and it says 10.02 clear sky. So it is actually fetching data externally now from the API, you can see. So you can write your multiple functions. For example, you can write your SQL functions. There are so many, tutorials on it. Function calling, by the way, and you can just read it up and see that what is function calling, how you can make different kind of functions, and they have shared different structure. And I guess there is one more OpenAI GitHub where they have mentioned different kind of examples. So let me just find it out. Okay, just give me a minute. I'm trying to find it out. So yes, I just found it. So this is an OpenAI cookbook in which you can get all the tutorials. Okay, so how to call functions, and how to call functions with a knowledge base, how to handle rate limits. So there are so many tutorials which you can follow, question answering, multi-classification, and all of this. So you can just see that how many tutorials are there to follow. I will share a link below too. I will also share my tutorial link, GitHub link below too. You can just check it out. That's totally fine. And then there's some information I want to share regarding the models. Right now, GPT-4 is actually the fastest model, but it costs more than GPT 3.5. So you can just simply use GPT 3.5 Turbo for your task, and later on, the companies are also using 16K tokens context models too. because they have large documents, and but it costs more, definitely. And we have then fine tuning models, we have embeddings model, ADA, we have base models, image models, audio models. I'm going to talk about everything in my coming tutorials, but this tutorial is pretty much about that how you can access API, what are the messages, and how you can call functions, you know, inside OpenAI. So this is pretty much, and I'm going to share this tutorial on Git. Also, all the useful links you can follow below. Please make sure you try this notebook yourself. Try to create your own functions. If you want to know how to code and how to keep up the pace with OpenAI, and how you can do all these magical things in your industry, whether it's marketing or sales, whatever. So you have to make sure that you are trying these tutorials, and then you can learn new things. So thank you everyone, and that's all. And keep following. Please give a like, uh, this video, share, like, and comment. Thank you.